Short introduction to columns, inspect page, graph tools. First, we have inspect period. Here you select which period you want to analyze. For example, last 12 hours, today, yesterday, 7 days. Let's select 7 days. And then you will get aggregated by, for each selected period, it will be automatically selected. If you are an expert, you will have also custom selection for more detailed graph charting. Then you have channels. You can select different channels like indicators, measurements and calculations, digital states. So you can put up to 50 channels or 100 channels measurements on one graph. It's too much, but let's select system flow. Those are the tags that are indicating the system channels with special meaning for calculations. You can select all or deselect all and confirm. So now those are the channels that you want to measure. The next one is the scales. The scale, you can fix or rename different scale for flow. Let's say this is the standard flow. We can put here the definition S. You can put here a kilowatt or kilowatt, some special, or the dedication for system kilowatt if you want to rename units. You can fix mean and max to different values like 100 and from 50 and confirm. So now all those ranges will be limited to 100 as you said before, as you said in this. If you don't want to use this, you have to reset the scales. The next button is auto select scale. With auto select scale, when you slide over the chart, the channels will be fixed as selected. But if you select auto select, the units here on the left side will change, depends on the different channels that you are reading. For example, system flow, you can just cover system flow, system power, system zone monitoring, and you will have zone flow, and you will have here the units. So with this you can fix the units. This one is log scales to current position. So if you put here log, and if you zoom in, the scale will not change. So we will have always the same scale. If you move like this, slide left or right, like this, the scale will not change. So you can compare, and if you go further left or right, the epsilon axis will stay always to the same level, so you can compare and see what's happening with the chart. The next one is expand scales from the full scale, negative to positive. So here you will get the minimum value up to maximum value. So even if you zone like this, small region, and if you press here, it will always zone from lowest value to the highest value. And then this one, the button is expand scales to full height. So here you can set actually from 0 to full. So here is the min to max, and this one is 0 to 4. And this one is split x-axis to different regions. So you can see on one single chart different values for channels separated, so it's much easier to see different values. The scale will always change. This button is for splitting the graph into more graphs, separate graphs. So this is very easy. On each chart you will have the same channels with the same units, like here cubic meter per minute. So here we have all flows, here we have all power. If we add also pressure, system pressure. So we have here a system pressure. If we want to see the compressor power number 1, it will go to this chart. So for example, you can write here in search power, and voila, you have here the compressor number 1 power, compare, and it is 0. So now we have on the same chart also these different panels. If you go back, have the same charting, you can select also scales on each side like this. So you see here all the channel, the units for those channels, and on the other you have the flow channel. If you have more channels, it will be more channels available. Then you can select toggle with the bands, min max band, which will show you actually the min value, max value of the signal. So from this chart, if you have, for example, a longer period, like let's say previous months, some little bit time because it's a lot of data. So if you use this button, you will see how the pressure is changing and how the flow is changing from min, max, and the average value in between. And you see here also different units which you can select and compare. Then another button is download. Here you can download just the chart. With simple button, it will download the complete chart. It will pop up in the section for downloads. So you can use it, or you can download the graph with the data. So you can download complete data that you have selected here, or you can download also the spreadsheet in Excel for further investigation. This is a special button for recalculation, only for experts, so you can do the calculation and recalculate the charts for specific period. And here you have a preprocessor, so those are future or already available functions like rolling average. So if you here 100 samples, for example, you can put this to all channels like this, confirm, and now you have rolling average for the pressure and flow, whatever, all the channels. Of course, you can reset all, you can do only to power 50 samples per one. And now this is the power averaging, rolling average. Very easily done. Very useful function for capacitance calculation. Then we have zoom, manual zoom in, zoom out. You can zoom in, zoom out. The inspect period will change. Also the aggregation might change. Or set power here. Okay. You can zoom in also with the scroll button on the mouse. All the charts will zoom, and also the whole calculation on the right side will be calculated for selected period, and also the compressors loading status will be also zoomed in. You can also move charts to the right with the press of the scroll button on the mouse. You can put on the right side. You can select align to an hour, so you have a fixed hour starting with 0 minutes, fixed here. You can align to a day, so now we have from 0 to 24 hours each day, or you can set for a complete week, so you will have a complete week. And then with this button you can move for selected size that you have here. For example, if you select here only this part, this is Tuesday 26th to Friday 29th, we want the complete week. So now we get from Monday to Monday. This is 1 week, and we can move On this side, you can see all the statistics. And here you will see like system efficiency. If you go with the mouse over of this chart, this is 81% of system efficiency. It's somewhere 80% of all the systems that we have based on isentropic efficiency comparison. You have here average specific power for the system, and here is the best in class that we have for around the same pressure recalculated and the potential savings compared to the best theoretical that we have in the system. You have average pressure with min max value, system flow, system power, so the most important for system KPIs. And here you have also the calculation for the selected period, how big, for example, how many cubic were produced, big meter or feet, you can change, and projection for annual estimation based on the annual hours that you put in the setup. For example, 8,000 hours. Here is electricity consumption for this period and for 1 year prediction, and as well electrical consumption for this period. If we zoom in like this, of course, this will change, will be smaller, and also the CO2 will be smaller. With the double click, you will resize back. Then with the charting, you have different units, the channels. It depends what you select. You will see here, like you can switch drop off on, can turn off, so you can actually, you must deselect the auto scale if you want permanently to remove this. So actually you can control only zone 1 compared to zone 2, compared to zone 3, so we can zoom in like this. So now this is the zones comparing together. We can do also the roaring average for each zone, like 20 samples, confirm. So this is now the roaring average of different samples. You move and you can compare different zones. So if you want more details about these values, you can click on this menu, which is the averages. So for each selected section, here, like zone 3, you will have here exactly the value at the position of cursor, mean average value, and max average value, based on the aggregation. It's very important to understand. No matter what, then you can have here also differentials and the sum for each channel. If it is, it can be making sum, then you have a differential, pressure differential between the beginning, with the first point and the last point. So if we remove reset all, and if you go back to system flow, turn on back all the units, and we would like to, for example, select complete current year, back, you know this, and what we want to see here, zoom in for different months. So now we would like to see what are the peaks. You can click here with the mouse, select different channel, click 1. So this is the first point that you want to measure, and this is the second peak of the power, system power, click 2. And now between the points 1 and 2, you have a time difference of 4 days and 8 hours, pressure drop of 0.03 bar, and system flow 1.2 difference, and the difference for the power of this compressor is like this. If you want to compare to point number 3, press 3. Now you have 3 points. So with the press of the button, of course, you can download this as well. So more features. Everything is now redesigned also for mobile devices, so you can have a bigger chart on the mobile device as well. And what is very good here is the tool which for selected period you zoom in. For example, here it will automatically calculate and show you operation of each compressor. If it is gray, it's not in operation. If it's blue, it's loaded. If it's yellow, it is unloaded. And if it's gray, it is off. So here you on the chart, you see immediately how many percentage for each compressor is in operation, loaded, unloaded, and off. How many hours that represents in this particular time, and how many times it loads and how many times it stops. It's very important. And it gets red if, for example, load period is more than 10%. Also, if you have some alerts. Selecting, let's say, current year, it's a lot of data. We can zoom in, so it has single chart. If we need more space, we can resize this as well, hide with this button. And here we have a feature which is annotation. So with this annotation, we can see all the alerts that are in this period, for example, and other annotations. You have here alerts, alarms, warnings. The green ones are events, like before, after, and the gray one are the comments. So, for example, here we have many 2,000 events, more than 2,000 events, and with this button here, you have the complete list of all annotations. So you can select this one or whichever, load more. Okay, it's too much. Maybe we can zoom in just for this region. All the annotation will change. Here is one test, the gray one. This is alert. This is event for control system. The green one, if you press here, click on this one, it will automatically open the event, which is changing the sequence, and you can see related signals to this event. If you press here the event button, it will bring you immediately to the event. You can put always new comment and relate this comment to different channels, like maybe this is related only to system power and compressor 1. Like this, you can put here the test compressor number 1 based on U curve specific power. Save. And this is now the new comment. You have here now 2 comments. One is the manual comment here inside, so you can zoom in here, and you'll be able to see one comment, or maybe go back, and you will have here another comment which was here or the place. You can click here, you will get the details. You can delete the comment if you are the owner of the comment, the time, relation to the signal. And below you have also digital inputs, which will show you the percentage and how many times the unit start, stop, and how many percentage of high and low state 0 and 1s. So this is actually the first very important inspect page. You can go here on a new slide. You can create new slides for more detailed analysis. As I said, this is the level 1 analysis. With this slide, you can include all channels in the selection, create slides, and then you have more tools to analyze. Do not do that. You can refresh chart if some recalculation is done, and you can use, if you're expert, also live button, which will reconfigure the loader, send the command there to start sending data on 1 second base, and the new values will pop up for the last 5 minutes, every 5 seconds or every 1 second, like this. This is for inspection and doing the detailed analysis. But the last part of this inspect period, it's actually on the aggregate part. which you can do for a longer period, for example 1 week, last week. Here you see you can also change inspect period. Of course, you can use also custom. Here you can select the date and the time or predefined values. Also you can change aggregation. You can change this channels that will be shown here, and you can compare, for example, system flow on the hourly base compared to system power, and you can use compressor number 1 power, system power on a daily basis. So you see immediately the consumption of air and electricity for each day, and the statistic will be calculated for the major KPIs like air consumption, air cost for each day, energy consumption, specific power, average flow, and pressure. You can download this to CSV file for further analysis. You will have the statistical data. Here you can simulate also if the cost is increased to 0.2 euros. Of course, all the tables will increase. The values here will increase. If you select more operating hours as well, the total KPI will increase, and also the annual projection will increase. You can compare here the QSUM graph based on one daily basis, or you can do this on hourly basis. See more details. So in QSUM graph, you see how you are progressing based on target specific power. If you change to different target specific power like this, you will see different trends when you are doing good job or when you are poor with the losses in kilowatt hours based to your targets. On the empty diagram, monitoring and targeting, you see different combinations based on the target specific line, which is here. This is consumption and air consumption and versus energy consumption, and all the points that are below this line are better than this target specific power. So here you are good. This combination is good, the orange one. This one, the gray one, is not so good. It's actually very bad. So you can actually also zoom in, and you see for the same consumption, you can use two completely different energy consumption, from 160 kilowatt for the same flow down to 130, so 20 kilowatt difference for the same flow. Okay, that's it.